think there are a lot of moments where I can be proud of. Just to explain my situation, I worked 40 years in a member company where I was also a member of the IFRA board. And then in 2020, I took over as the IFRA Chairman, changing a little bit the size of the table. And I have to say, knowing the industry for 40 years, that the next 4 years were extremely busy and challenging. I think the fragrance industry is a very stable industry, a very reliable industry, but it had to face challenges which have not been seen before. What comes to my mind are basically three things. First of all, I took over the role as a chairman, and we had to go into the pandemic with a lot of lockdowns and exclusions, travel bans, and we learned to work virtually. We learned to digitalize a lot of things which had been done in person for the last 50 years before. So I think we successfully managed this. We did our first Global Fragrance Summit as a virtual summit, and then we continued this series of Global Fragrance Summits in person. So I think this is something which has been created during my time as a chairman. The second point which comes to my mind is that we successfully coped with all the consequences of the Green Deal and the CSS, the Chemical Strategy for Sustainability, where a lot of fragrance ingredients were questioned, and we had to build a strong ingredient defense for many, many materials which have never been questioned in the past. We had to become much more active, and we successfully dealt with the situation. And the third point, I think, where we can be proud of is that we expanded the footprint of IFRA into the other regions, because we all are aware that Europe is not the center of cosmetic and fragrance ingredient legislation anymore. There are really a lot of regions which are coming up with their own legislative initiatives, and we have become really strong by founding IFRA Latin America, by founding IFRA Southeast Asia, by also opening a liaison office in Delhi, in India, where we really accompany legislative initiatives at the same time follow also demographic developments. The future of the major part of consumers for our products will be outside of Europe, and we definitely did a strong step into the right direction by creating a strong IFRA outside of Europe.